Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes You All Cubed. That's one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I am so glad to be with you here on this fine today. Today is Thursday, April the 8th in the year 2021. Oh my goodness, can you believe we're just moving, easing on down the road. And I want to thank every last one of you that has come into the chat on this morning. I appreciate you. And I'm going to ask if you would, go ahead, if you would, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and let's get this thing crack-a-lacking. You all have done a marvelous job in helping me to move on in the algorithm world, and I really appreciate you. We're doing phenomenal things. I'm going to say one more time. I just need 12 more folks out there. Get me 12 folks out there in YouTube. 12 folks that you think will absolutely enjoy the conversations in the morning, and ask them to go out there to YouTube and just sign up and subscribe, because we want to get this thing going. Royal Confessions, thank you for hosting. I appreciate that host. You are just marvelous, dear. Just absolutely phenomenally marvelous. I appreciate you so much, and everybody that comes in every day. I appreciate your faithfulness. I mean, some of you guys don't miss. If you would, if I'm going to ask my mods to run out there and take a quick peek. I don't see my Facebook. I don't see YouTube, my platforms. I want to just make sure everybody's operating and running on today. I see lots of Twitch, but I'm not seeing Facebook nor YouTube. So if somebody just take a look for me, I'd certainly appreciate that. And we're going to move right along. Now, you know how we do this. I always like to appreciate those that get up, get out of the bed, you sleepyhead, because we always want to give a cheer to the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair, the Rebel Ink. Yes, the Rebel Ink is the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair today. And I want to say hot on her tails was Royal Confessions. I'm telling you all. Y'all are doing this thing. Yes, I appreciate you, and you just don't know how much I thank you for coming on up in here early in the morning. With that, I want to say good morning. Get your coffee cups out. I want you to get ready. That's what they used to say back in the day. Get ready. I want you to get ready. Get your coffee cups out. We take this coffee with no cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tell it like it Tiz over here. So I want to say good morning, Royal Confessions. Good morning, Beat Teat Deep Mom. Good morning to the Rebel Ink. Good morning, Jonna CPDW. I thank you and I appreciate you for coming in the chat bright and early this morning, and we're going to get this party crack-a-lacking. But before I do that, you know, I always like to appreciate my corporate sponsor, who is always and forever the Rebel Ink. I want you all to go out there to therebelink.com. She's got some good stuff out there waiting for you. 23. Hey, 23. So good to see you and have you on this morning. Thank you for checking in with us. I appreciate your presence here in the midst. Now, I want to say the Rebel Ink has a new shirt in the collection. She's got everything out there. Love over hate, it's out there. The black collection, it's out there. Freedom isn't given, it's out there. And many more. But this last shirt, I want you to go out there and get Righteous and Ratchet. Yes, Righteous and Ratchet is in the lineup, and I want you to get you some of that. So therebelink.com, that's where it is located at. Get you some. Yes, the rebelink.com. She's got just what you need. She's got just what you need out there. Make sure you get some. I see y'all having church talking about early will I seek thee out there in these Twitch streets. Listen, the Rebel Ink and Royal Confessions, y'all know y'all are a mess. Y'all are in those twitching in the Twitch streets. That's what you're doing. You're twitching in the Twitch streets, and I'm not mad at you. Keep on twitching. Keep on twitching. Now we're going to get this thing crack-a-lacking. Did somebody that's out there, anybody that's out there from YouTube or Facebook, just give me a holler to let me know that you're in the room. I want to make sure that those channels are going and flowing. In the meantime, we're going to get this crack-a-lacking. I always like to stop and give appreciation to King Coogee, who is the creator of our music for the podcast. Now, I do want to say this, though. I'm going to pull that down just a little bit. I do want to say this. I got to give Rebel Inc. one of the baddest keyboard players in the world. I appreciate her, the music that you hear on the Rebel Inc., Jasamis, and all of our other commercials and promos. That is all provided to us by the Rebel Inc. So I want to give her some props as well. She doesn't really shout herself out a lot because she's my mod, but she does a phenomenal job and has a lot of irons in the fire and is just a beautiful heart and a beautiful spirit. So I want you to support her as well. For those on Twitch, go over there to the Rebel Inc. and subscribe to her. Also, King Coogee, I also appreciate him for providing these tracks for our pre-show and during the course of our conversation. So I just want to get those shout outs and those appreciations. Also to everybody, the blessings and the support that you all have been giving has been phenomenal. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Rashida Renee, for liking the stream. I appreciate you. The support has been phenomenal. Thank you. Every biddy, every cheer, every subscription. I got to appreciate you because without you, I wouldn't be here. Now, as we get this party crack-a-lacking, we talk about what happened while Facebook is up. Thank you so much. Good morning, Mel. Good to see you. I appreciate you, Jonna. Nayray 1205. YouTube is good. Thank you. I just wanted to know everybody was there before we got to moving. I appreciate you so much. All right, now, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, I want to start today with some headline, and it's really not headline, it's old line, it's old news, but you know, it's back in a new way because COVID is going to dominate for a minute. Now, New Zealand is the place to be, obviously, for COVID because New Zealand doesn't play. Yes, they got that little white sister over there. My Caucasian sister said, listen, good morning, Teresa Jones. Good to see you. Yes. I wanted to make sure y'all were flowing and going. I hadn't seen you. Good morning. This is the day, Teresa, that the Lord has made, and we're rejoicing and we're glad in it. That's your scripture that you bring me every morning. I appreciate it. New Zealand sister said, no, shut it down. And so New Zealand subsequently has been a country that has almost no COVID. You heard what I said, almost no COVID. But she woke up this morning with my mind. Yes, she woke up this morning with her mind and said, anybody from India can't come over here because listen, y'all got a surge going up. And listen, we're going to keep it like it is, like a Tiz, you can't come. So she was in the headlines this morning because she posted that thing out there. New Zealand is not for you if you're coming from India because y'all having a major uptick over there. Do not come to our shores. And our mother said, not today. Yes, she did, Rebel. She said, not today. And so at the end of the day, a lot of people are trying to get to New Zealand because New Zealand, again, is at zero, almost near about zero with COVID. Now, pay attention to this because this could have been a lot of countries. When COVID first hit, Mother said, shut it down. When COVID first came out, she said, look, y'all stay home. If you're coming out, you're going to social distance when you do have special instances where you need to come out, and you're going to wear your mask. You're going to do all of the things that we need to do to make sure that everybody is safe over here. And Mother wasn't playing. So at the end of the day, She's over there in a whole country that's almost at zero. You heard what I said. And this is the funny thing about it. So after she put out her post this morning and they broadcast it live and put it on the airways everywhere, then they came after, the media started saying, look, for everybody that's looking to go to New Zealand, their real estate prices have just hiked up to keep y'all from coming. So don't even look that direction, because right now they got the premium real estate almost in the world. Because at the end of the day, my chat isn't thank you. At the end of the day, you know, we look and we identify that no, you're not getting ready to bring that stuff over here. You're not getting ready to bring that stuff over here. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much for letting me know, Rebel. So at the end of the day, New Zealand is the place to be, but you ain't going, because they're not going to take you in, especially if you come from India. Now, this is the thing that's very interesting about that, because you know Ramadan, for those of my Muslim brothers and sisters, Ramadan, I believe, is scheduled to start, I believe it is the 12th of April, and it's going to go until the 12th of May. And so with Ramadan going, you've got people that want to migrate to India, which is not uncommon. They're ready to migrate to India and then come back to their respective homes. Well, understand this clearly. For those out of New Zealand that might be Muslim, you will not be going to Ramadan in India this year. If you do, you better get you a nice long hotel location, because you're not coming back home for a minute. So at the end of the day, we want to pay attention. I thought about that when she came out with that statement. I was like, what's going to happen to my Muslim sisters and brothers that want to go to Ramadan? But nonetheless, that's not for me to figure out. That's stay in my lane, spiritual thought leader, stay in my lane. But at the end of the day, you better figure it out, because you're not coming back to New Zealand. So as we continue on, and with that thought in mind, while we're on the virus, let me say, Will I Am has come out with the ultimate mask, and his mask, get ready now, clutch your hearts, clutch your pearls. His mask is only $299. Will I Am, our awesome rapper, said, look, y'all gonna be masked up for a minute. Let me make sure that you mask it up right. Cause listen, we gonna have strands of COVID out here for a minute, cause y'all just will not do the right thing. So listen, I might as well take advantage of the opportunity, and I might as well just go ahead and put something out here that you all might like. So he's come out with a mask that has air vents, it has a fan, it has Bluetooth. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. It's called Super Mask. It's spelled with an X if anybody's trying to find it. XUPERMASK. Now y'all come on, get your money together and get ready to get this mask. Because Will I Am said, look, we might as well make sure that for this launch, and it's launching today, and he's shipping it directly to the customers that want it. He said, look, you gotta go ahead and get this mask, only $299, because it's gonna make sure. Does it have life more abundantly? Rebel, look. I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Will's I Am said, he said, listen, it's gonna keep you alive. It's all over me. And it ain't all over me, it's just on my face, but it's keeping me alive. It's on the front, on the back, over me, under me. Yes, Will I Am said, I got it for only, listen, the air is free, but the mask is $299. So y'all get out there and y'all get Will I Am's mask, and he's expecting to make a killing on that thing. So, but I'm gonna tell you what, I feel like I got something down in my shondo. It's down in my shondo, y'all. I got something in my shondo that says that the people that got the money And the people that can afford it, because I really didn't tell you all the stuff that's in it, but y'all go out there and look it up. It's Super Mask, spelled with the X instead of an S. It's spelled with the X. Super Mask is at good morning, Larnell Jones. That's my brother from Lawrence A. Jones and Sons Funeral Chapel. Anybody that has a need, Brother Larnell will take real good care of you. Good to have you this morning, Larnell. That's my baby. I love that baby. I love him. I love him. So now just know for sure that you don't have to walk around here. You don't have to be denied air, oxygen, and everything else that you need in the way of comfort, because Will I Am has made it comfortable for you. You know somebody that has it, Royal Confessions. Come on now. Now this is the thing on that, Royal. It's just hitting the market today. How did they get their hands on it early? So that being said, somebody done really paid some money to get their hands on that. So, you know, I want to know if you know them, Rhonda, Royal Confessions. I want to know how they like it. $2.99 for call his name 23. Call his name Jesus. $299. You heard it. You heard it here on Yes You On Cube 101, just me and you. Yes, $299 will let you breathe. Y'all won't be talking about I can't breathe. He's giving you air that you can breathe. She wore it yesterday while she was on the plane. I'm just done. I mean, really, y'all. But now, Will I Am took a good chance, and he said, and obviously this is the truth, because Royal Confession, she's confessing it today. If you confess the Lord, she's confessing it today. She has somebody that she knows. Do you wash the mask if it gets dirty? 23, I would guess no, because this thing is loaded. It's got Bluetooth. It's got everything but air conditioning in there. It's got everything you can think of in this mask. So I'm gonna guess, with all the technology that it's loaded with inside of there, I don't think you better put no water on it. Because I'm gonna tell you what, y'all know how the masks have been. If you didn't know you had bad breath, now you know. Because when you wear these masks, and that mask traps all of your halitosis up in there, when that mask gets all of that halitosis and bad breath up in there, you know, you sit there and you be like, oh Lord Jesus, oh, you know, it's just so amazing how terrible that halitosis can get trapped up in that mask. So when you start talking about, can you wash the mask if it gets dirty, 23? I don't know. But if you can't, does that mean you just gonna have to walk around smelling all that halitosis that's trapped up in that mask? Well, I guess maybe 23. Let's just think this through. If you buy a new mask, I'm sure Will I Am likes your idea. Buy a new mask every time it gets a little tart. But listen, I'm gonna assume all of those mechanisms that he has built in there, surely it pulls the bad air and the halitosis. Surely it pulls that out. I don't know, but at the end of the day, that's a good question. So all of y'all, go ahead and run right on out. Because he has made that available to you. Make sure you don't miss it. All right. As we move on, I just thought that was the most funny thing when I read that this morning. And I was like, Lord, $299. But listen, he may be banking on somebody saying $299 is a small price to pay for my life. So, hey, you go figure. You tell me. Now, they're saying, as we're coming into an economic boost, and I'm glad to hear this. This is a day, season, and time. Get your monies together. Listen, the word for this time, get out of debt. Debt-free. Royal Confessions has been preaching this for I don't know how long. Debt-free is the word of deliverance for this season and this time. Get out of debt. Get your bills paid. Get your debts paid. Walk around with the freedom and the liberty, all of that. You say you don't get why a mask need a Bluetooth. You know, folks want to talk in comfort. They want to be able to hear and have their conversation without having to battle with that mask, 23. I guess that's all I can say to that. So as we go into this time, they're saying economics, JP Morgan Chase, the CEO, is coming out saying this is about to be one of the biggest booms we've ever had. Now, as we walk into this season where President Biden has really worked hard to get this initiative pushed out into the United States after such a treacherous 4 years, and especially after a devastating 2020. And I know some people are saying, yeah, but there was a boom coming. Listen, a lot of that stuff that we had from Trump, it was good for the rich, but it was not good for the poor. If you had some, thank you for liking the stream. I appreciate that. Listen, I'm looking at those that may be able to afford and have some money. Yes, it's been a good time under Trump for them because, man, he was playing with those taxes. He was playing with all kind of corporate monies, getting out there and infusing corporations left and right. But at the end of the day, those of us, we the people, were many times left struggling and not a participant in all of the blessing of the money and the finance. But as we come into this new season, there is a boom market that is projected, and he's now saying he believes it's going to last until 2023, at least until 2023. So as we look at 21 and 2 years of potential boom going on here in the country, get your business fixed, get your house in order, and jump out there and start getting some of those things so you can get an opportunity to really participate fully in all that is provided and available to you in this time. So at the end of the day, I want you to consider finances. I know, hey, I got Brother Larnell Jones on here. I don't mind giving him a shout out right now. Get your pre-need planning. Y'all, you gonna die. You are going to die. Let the church say amen. You're gonna die. Now, at the end of the day, I want you to think about things like, is this a time for me to do my financial planning and make sure that I've got my pre-need funeral planning done? I said pre-need funeral planning done. Brother Larnell is in the house today. Larnell Jones, you saw him. Click on his name and get the information. Brother Larnell is at, and he just happens to be here. There are many mortuaries all over the place, and everybody's not in my particular locale. Some of you are across the country and other countries as well. But this is a time while we're in this boom, make sure you take care of business. Don't just be in the boom and start frivolously spending your money, but make sure of the resources that you have. And while the boom is going on, set your stuff up. Larnell will take good care of you. I promise you that. This is my brother. I know him. I've worked side by side with him. Come on, this is a time to take advantage. Look at the different things and begin to identify and work towards some goals. Yet we all passing through, Teresa. We just passing through this land. We're just pilgrims passing through this land. And y'all done perched up like you ain't going nowhere. And so at the end of the day, when you leave up out of here, and yes, I worked in the mortuary field as well. So I've been the person that has to sit with the family as they decide we're going to have a GoFundMe page. And then we're going to sell so many t-shirts. And then we're going to sell so many chicken dinners. And then we're going to do this and that and the other. Or your loved one is laid up in the mortuary for 2 months and more. Because listen, they not gonna bury you in these days and times like they did back in the day. When our parents came along, they could make a bill. They can pay on it. But something happened where they figured we got a whole lot of bodies in the ground, and once that body gets in the ground, ain't nobody digging it up, and we not getting paid. So in these days and times, they not taking you down until you pay your money. So I want you to take full advantage. Look at your life insurance needs. Is it significant? And when I say life insurance, I'm not just talking about. Listen, I could do a whole segment on the difference between insurance for life and burial insurance. You get burial insurance when you're planning on and identifying you're going to die and take care of business. Life is for when you live. That if y'all need to have that conversation, we can have that on another episode. But listen, look at the things in your life and see, is everything working in the way that you want it to? Can you get out of some more? Good morning, Monica L. Smith. You did. Monica, It is 7:30. It is 7. Now, y'all know, anybody that knows me, Monica is my baby. If you've ever seen Dirty Dancing and they have the line, this is my baby. Nobody puts baby in the corner. This is my baby. So just understand, nobody puts baby in the corner. But Monica, it's 7:30 in the morning, girl. 7:30. I have been on the air for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. And then you asked me, did you get Grandpa Holmes' chair? She said, not unless you're a ghost. Now listen, baby, I'm not gonna put you in the corner, but this is what I want you to do. Monica, have all the seats. Okay, sweetheart? Have all the seats. Just sit down quietly. Come on in. Just come on in and sit. See, you got to know how to come in the room and just sneak in. You don't come in and make a spectacle of yourself. You know, it's like the person that comes to the funeral late and then they sashay down the middle aisle to the front row and sit down. You don't do that, baby. You don't do that. You find your chair someplace and sit down quietly. That's what I'm trying. See, I got to help my people while I'm out here. Good morning, Nancy Jackson. And you didn't get Grandpa Holmes' chair either, Nancy. You been lurking? She been lurking. Yes, Rebel, come late to the funeral, sashay down the middle aisle, and then sit on the front row. And then make people scoot over and crawl over them. Anyway, let me keep going. I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm trying to tell you, I've seen it with my own eyes. This is what folk do. This is what folk do when they ain't had no home training. So at the end of the day, Mel, I'm telling the truth. I promise. You know what, Mel? While we listen, Rebel, go ahead and put that command in there for Mel real quick. I'm gonna take an aside because Monica done messed my whole flow up. She just done thrown me all the way off. That just done thrown Casper's first cousin. Monica, are you listen, look at this, Mel. We got a new command in there. It's exclamation ride. Exclamation ride. Go for a ride and come back alone. That's made just for you, Mel. Just for you. I had to stop. For those of y'all that watch the show on the regular, you know what I'm talking about. But they cracking me up this morning. Y'all got jokes. Y'all got all kind of jokes up in here this morning. It's too funny. It's too funny. But I love you anyway, girl. I still love you. And at the end of the day, nobody puts baby in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Woo! Y'all silly. You guys are silly. Oh my God. So this is the new article that came out today for those that are looking for employment during this time and season. We know COVID has wreaked havoc on a lot of people. And so listen, they're saying at this point right now, the cyber vetting, they're looking at the problems with cyber vetting because they're identifying that there is a potential, a very high potential that because we are now cyber vetting, it opens up the door to discrimination and not selecting people, with the scenario of trying to get to some level of equity and inclusion, but the cyber vetting becomes problematic. There's an article on that's out there for those that go in the LinkedIn circle. They're really talking because they're also trying to get people motivated to get back into the system. But this is a situation, though, that you have to wonder to yourself, is there going to be a real way to identify if you've been the victim of cyber vetting, is what they're calling it, cyber vetting. Were they using things that they were able to see in the cyber vetting, the way that were they using other factors in making the choice to eliminate me rather than giving me a fair chance? That's something that they're urging people to pay attention to that in the job market. They're also saying that really there is a new what they're calling the hidden powers, my spidey powers. I tell people all the time, I consider myself almost like, particularly in spiritual areas. For those that watch X-Men, Star Trek, Matrix, I love those kinds of things because there's something, I always get something spiritual out of it. I tell people that I'm Professor X. I can sense other mutants' powers. I can just sense it. Sometimes they don't even know it's almost like they can be like Jean Grey. And I'm like, no, you're not only a level 5, you off the chart mutant. You got powers beyond power. You got powers greater than the powers that I have. And I have that ability. They're saying now that your superpower of being ambivert. So I'm looking at individuals that say there's a part of me that's an introvert. And really, people don't believe this about me, but the truth is I am an introvert. A lot of my behavior is learned behavior, but I was an introvert. I wouldn't talk. I wouldn't, it was that around certain people. But as far as being in front of groups and things like that, I can remember my grandfather in Sunday school. I know some of the answers to some of those questions. I'd be like, yeah, but I just was too scared. Even my grandmother telling me, in the idea of leading a song, I was too fearful and frightened. I can't lead this song. I'm scared. And she told me, close my eyes. Just close your eyes and sing and act like you're singing to Jesus. And I still do that to this day, not because sometimes people, she caught up in the spirit. No, it's just a habit. That's the habit that I learned to be able to sing in front of people. Close your eyes and act like nobody's there. So when you take that introverted side and then those that are extrovert, they're saying now that those individuals that have almost the even-handed of introvert as well as extrovert personality and behavior, they're considering you now to be the optimal individuals to employ. So if that's you, and you see that, yes, I have a large dose of being an introvert, but I also have almost the equal dose of being an extrovert. I want you to know that statistics are saying right now, your personality type is in the highest demand and they're looking for you. So if that's you, they're encouraging you to get out there because that's what a lot of the corporations now are really desiring, because they have found even the idea what we've been talking about in our topic this week is about collaboration. And the whole essence of collaboration is that you're greater when you have the diversity than when you just have one or the other. When you combine those two together and get the synergy from that together, then that is so powerful. And that's really where they say more of the creativity comes, when you have those diverse that come together. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you for the cheer. Monica, I appreciate you. So for those that, and that brings you to the point of, do you know yourself? Do you know what kind of person you are? Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Or are you an ambivert? Get to know yourself. Because again, I'm gonna say it once more and again, they're saying to the ambiverts, to those that have that good mix of both, and almost the equal balance of it, you are who corporations are looking for in this time and in this season. So, those are lurking biddies. Oh, girl, you are killing me. You are killing me. And I almost want to say, is that a lion spirit? But no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Nobody puts baby in the corner. I'm just playing. So at the end of the day, pay attention, because you have a good opportunity right now to get out there in the job market and really be extremely productive. Because I'm gonna say it once more and again, they're looking for you. So, go at it. Go at it. Now, I'm looking and I'm identifying in what's trending. Let's talk about, we finally got an idea. We finally got it. I see you down there cracking up, Monica. We finally got an idea of how Tiger Woods had this accident. Now, y'all, I don't know what got to hold the tiger. Could it be? The devil? Baby, this ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. Because they came out with the report. Now, I told y'all, because I was actually in Cali at the time that this accident took place. I had just been in that area, and I was like, how in the world did this brother go over this whole cliff? Not one break, not one skid mark, nothing. And I said, now at the end of the day, something is rotten in Denmark. So this is just unbelievable. And I listened and I looked at that and I said, something ain't right. There is no way. Teresa, 87 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour zone. That's all I'm screaming. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Baby, that wasn't nothing but this old slimy devil. He was on a highway to hell. Yes, y'all know that song, Highway to Hell. He was on a highway to hell in a 45 mile an hour zone. He said, I got hot draws. I feel a fire shut up in my toes. I got a fire shut up in my foot. I got a fire shut up in my bones. And it wasn't nothing but that old slimy devil. I'm trying to tell you, it wasn't nothing but that old slimy devil, because I want you to know 45 was almost too fast for where that area is, because you are on hairpin curves, and you got to slow your roll to make. And I'm like, this joker. Now, there's not gonna be any charges. There's not gonna be anything done to him, I understand, because as you recall, it still sounds fishy because there were no brake marks, Teresa. No brake marks. None. They had people going out to the scene. They had people out there right after it happened. I mean, we were trying to go someplace else and had to avoid that particular area because people were out there packing it out, because it's just a mystery. Fishy is not the word for it, Teresa. Something is not right with this story. No brake marks, and that is the truth. And that's what the people said. They were shocked, stunned, and amazed because there were no, you didn't hear a screech. There are no brake marks. You didn't hear anything. This joker just drove off the side of a mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when he just drove right on off the mountain. Now, something ain't right. Something is not right. Now, what they did, the investigators that showed up said that they didn't believe there was anything that was warranted them investigating, so they shut any potential for investigations down, which means I don't get blood when I go to the hospital. Not for the purpose of investigation. I don't get all of these different things that normally would have been launched with a normal investigation. Now, this is what I want to say, Brother Tiger. I love you, Tony the Tiger. And listen, you were not a lion. You were not a lion. No. At the end of the day, you rolled right on over the edge of that cliff, right on down the embankment, and it was of the mercies of the Lord that you were not consumed. But I still want to know what caused you to drive 87 miles an hour over the side of that cliff with no skid marks. So, this is my issue with modern culture. And the police, I feel, knew exactly what they were doing by saying that there was no inquiry needed, because what they did by doing so was shut it down. They shut it down. Any potential for something coming up in the future, they shut it down. Now, at the end of the day, beloved, 87 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour zone. And that's why I said, I'm not necessarily buying what they're selling. The story is still fishy. It is fishy. Tiger, what were you really doing? Unless the man was depressed, because they even said, now they came out with this much information, that the pedal The gas pedal was in its maximum pressure. Because they had given him one of those cars that had all of this technology on it. So they were able to go back and get what they called the black box. They went back and got the black box. Well, the black box showed the maximum amount of foot pressure. And so somebody tried to say this morning when I rose, I had some doubts. I listened to them talking about, well, they believe he thought he was, now Teresa, get this, he thought he was mashing the brake and was actually mashing the gas. Could it be? Could it be? The devil? That ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. Because unless he was having some kind of medical event, or unless he was having some kind of brain fog that was not allowing him, there is a huge difference between your accelerator pedal and your brake. I'm not buying what they selling. So at the end of the day, this is where I go with that, because you heard that too. That's what they're coming out. They're trying to say he was trying to mash the brake and accidentally hit the gas pedal. Listen. He is not an old man with Alzheimer's, delirium. Come on, y'all explain to me why the number one golfer in the world, unless he was having some kind of medical event, could not tell the difference between the accelerator pedal and the brake. I'm not buying what you selling. I'm not buying it. I don't believe it. So at the end of the day, this is the issue I have with us. We see it's not about being black. It's not about being white. It's about having money. When you have money, you can do things that are just dastardly. I mean, just dastardly. You can do things that are dastardly and get away with it. Because at the end of the day, anybody else that had been caught red-handed, and this is the thing about him they had just given him that car, y'all. They had just given him that vehicle. He can get that little ball in the hole. That's all that matters. He can get that little ball in the hole, and it's dastardly. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Child, that ain't nothing but the old slimy devil. Because you can get a whole different reality. You can get a whole different existence, Monica, as you said, from me being able to hit a little ball in a little hole. You can get a whole different existence just because you can hit a little ball in a little hole. Where are our priorities? This is insane. This man could have killed all kinds of people and hurt all kinds of people. It was of the mercies of the Lord. I'm going to say it again, that he wasn't consumed and a whole lot of other people too. But giving this young man, no consequences and no accountability. I had to take boy back because I don't call black men boys. I'm listening and I'm saying, you give this man a whole different benefit of a doubt and a different experience. Good morning, Michelle Brown. Good to see you this morning. You got me in the middle of a rant. You mean to tell me that you're going to give this baby a whole different experience in life just because he can hit that little ball in a little hole? This young man, he's not a boy. He needs to be held accountable. What good are you doing by allowing him to get away with near about murder, even if it was his own? You're not helping him. 87 miles an hour. That's some crazy stuff. Monica. Listen, I done come out the spirit. I was on a ranting spirit. I was all into that thing. And I reached down and read Monica's statement to let Michelle know she didn't get Grandpa home chair either. And I just came out the spirit. You done brought me all the way out the spirit. You just done brought me all the way out the spirit. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I'm done with that rant because I just can't go no further. I can't go another further because Monica just done knocked me all out. She just done knocked me all out. I'm just like, Lord have mercy. My friends and my loved ones y'all just won't do me right. See, that's why this is Yes You, one-on-one, just me and you. And I enjoy having conversation. And right now, Monica has hijacked my conversation. I've been hijacked. I've been bamboozled. I've been hoodwinked. I'm praying, girl. I'm praying. I'm praying for you, girl. I'm praying for you right now. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. Oh, shoot. I can't. I just can't with y'all. I just can't with you all. So at the end of the day, so much for Tiger. Boy, that's a good way to end the story, ain't it? Because I mean to tell you. I'm just done. Now, we got the Rebel Inc. There is hope. There is hope. Somebody preach it. There is hope. Keep hope alive. I want everybody, stretch your hands towards that screen. Stretch right now. Stretch that hand toward the screen and say, Monica, there is hope. One more time. Monica, there is hope. Now I need one more time. You got one for the Father. You got one for the Son. Now I just need one more for the Holy Ghost. Monica, there is hope. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Good morning, That Thing Productions. It's so good to see you. It's so good to have you with us on this morning. And thank you for joining us for Yes You O Cube, one-on-one, just me and you. And I appreciate your presence here on today. It means everything. Thank you so much for dropping in, my friend. Now, as we move on, because y'all know, Monica said she received it, y'all. She received, eat ye all of it. Now, there's a new show coming on, and I'm only going to bring this up because I think somebody is watching this. You are most welcome, That Thing. That thing. I want you all to appreciate Rebel, because Rebel, somebody been biting off of you. They got a new show coming out called Rebel. And I believe it's previewing tonight. So y'all that want to catch it, y'all get out there. They ain't going to be as good as our Rebel, because our Rebel is the bomb. If you've never been in an awesome birthday party, retirement party, or just want to hear some good music, the Rebel Inc. is the place to be. But this is the thing. They came out with the show called Rebel. I said, well, I'll be. Rebel done stirred something up. And then the tagline that she keeps using is, I am relentless. I said, well, they done got over on Josimas. They done got over in the Twitch streets. Listen, they out here just biting. Because listen, we didn't hear nothing about no relentless. We didn't hear nothing about no Rebel, but it's hot now. So y'all go out there and check it out. Now, I'm while we're there and just talking a little bit about what's going on in entertainment. Y'all know how many, put a 1 in the chat if you've been following Bridgerton. Put a 2 in the chat if you have no idea what Bridgerton is. Put a 1 in there if you've been following Bridgerton and you're a Bridgerton fan. Put a 2 in there if you don't even know what Bridgerton is. Now, Bridgerton is a show that has been burning like hotcakes. Oh, I got a 1. I got Michelle. Michelle, I know why you watching. Oh, I'm telling you, they got some eye candy over there. Rebel said, yeah, they got some eye candy over there. Well, eye candy, that's what I'm going to call him, eye candy. The Duke. Eye candy after he's done all of this. Yes, Michelle, ain't no shame. Listen, I tell people all the time, I might be saved, but I ain't blind. I can see, and I know what looks good. Good. So, and I ain't thirsty either, so don't go there with me. But at the end of the day, this brother's cute. Brother said, you've had 1 year of Bridgerton out of me, and I'm done. One and done. And so they offered him. It was reported to me. They offered him to, your daughter watches it, Teresa, you better catch up. You better catch up. I got Angie. I feel Angie down in my shondo. I feel Angie in my shondo. It's a good show. It's a good show. And at the end of the day, I'm in my mind after you are, thank you. That thing production, speak the truth all day long. I am, yes I am. In my eyes, I can see, and I see eye candy when I see it. So eye candy said, I'm done, one and done. And he's done and finished. Absolutely, Rebel. And so at the end of the day, yes I am all day long. So I'm wondering, how is this show going to continue? Because a lot of that show depended on eye candy. And so I'm trying to figure out how they going to move this forward. Are they going to go find somebody that's going to look close to the Duke of Hastings? I mean, they going to really have to do something to keep that show in the go, because that brother was powerfully important. And as they said, it was reported to me that in the books, really, the Duke of Hastings is a minor character. But baby, they put him in that role, and I think he took it over. Yes, he did. He took it over. But he said, I'm done. Now, one of the things that he also identified, and I'm wondering if this has anything to do with it, and maybe not, but he actually auditioned and wanted to be in Krypton, which is DC Comics. And DC Comics said they could not envision a black person in that role. Now, you know, I got something. Could it be? Could it be? The devil? Because that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. And so he's going to do movies. I heard that as well, Teresa. And I feel like F-I-N-E. I saw the all caps. I saw the bold. It had been italicized. I got to unshade on that because that's the truth. He's fine, saints. The brother is fine. The brother is fine. Oh my goodness, the brother is fine. But yes, it ain't nothing but that old slimy devil that said he couldn't play that role in Krypton. But at the end of the day, I feel like brother is saying, I've come on here, and Bridgerton, I took that role to a whole nother level. They're looking for a black Superman. I love that idea. And you know what? They need to have woke up. Come on, coffee. Y'all know how we do it over here. We take this coffee, no cream, no sugar. We take our coffee strong and black, because I tells it like it T-I-Z-Tiz. I tell it like it T-I-Z-Tiz. Thank you for the shout out. Y'all go and check that thing out. Y'all go out there and check him out. He plays music over there. Y'all check him out. Fine as wine, and that wine is old. Get that coffee cup out, Michelle. Get that coffee cup out. Get you a sip. Get you a sip, baby. Because the brother is fine. But this is really how I kind of feel about him, and I like it. Because I feel like he may, in fact, Billy D, he got to move all the way over. Because, baby, the Duke of Hastings save me, Jesus. Did I just sin? The Duke of Hastings is all right. You hear what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I feel like he's a male version of Cecily Tyson, Miss Cecily Tyson. Nobody like her, God rest her soul. Just powerful. Thank you for lurking, baby. You know what? I just looked up and saw that, and then I saw Monica. Monica, you're not gonna derail me again. But listen, I feel like he is really saying, like Miss Cecily Tyson. Cecily said, you know, she had such a hard time getting into the acting industry as an actor. And she felt like she was, as a consequence, not going to just take everything that they threw at her when she finally was able to make it in. Cecily said, I'm going to be selective in my role taking, and I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And so, Teresa, I also understood that he's saying he's going to go out and do movie roles, and he's concentrating on, and I love the way he put it. There was no negativity in his energy. It doesn't hurt to look. Well, Teresa, somebody said if you're committed in your heart, it's already done. But that's not where I am. That's not where I am. So don't y'all get twisted. Y'all be, ooh, the spiritual thought leader was on the podcast lusting this morning. She was on there. I ain't lusting, y'all. I'm really not. I'm just playing and having a good time. However, as Teresa said, touch, or oh no, I start to say touch. Don't look. Look, but don't touch. Something trying to get me confused down there. There's a spirit of confusion in my spirit, y'all. There's a spirit of confusion in my spirit. Don't touch. He's trying not to end his career by being locked into Bridgerton. I agree with you, Michelle. I agree with that 100% too, because so many times you are Royal Confessions is confessing. She is lusting. Y'all, I just can't have a decent show on this morning because y'all ain't gonna act right. Y'all just not gonna act right on this show today. Oh my Lord Jesus, Royal Confessions has confessed. She's lusting after the brother. Y'all, come on, we having prayer meeting all day long. Stretch them hands one more time, once more and again. Stretch them hands towards Royal Confession, and we cast out. We cast it down. I cast it down. Yes, I call for angels from Africa. I call angels from South America. Hata bata kaka lapa ka. Y'all got me cutting up, acting wrong up in here. You received that prayer? Well, at the end of the day, just like that sister that prayed that prayer before me, it didn't work. Just like the sister that prayed the prayer before me, that prayer did not work. It didn't work. It just won't work. It just won't work. Not yes, from Africa and South America, that thing, from all of them foreign countries, from all of those locations, all of the. Oh, I'm having fun this morning, Teresa. I'm having fun. Oh, for everybody that thinks I'm too frivolous, listen, part of being spiritual is to have some fun. Some of y'all ain't spiritual because you ain't had no fun in a long time. You supposed to be working that thing. Work that thing. Work that thing. Can I pray that prayer one more time for your Royal Confessions? Since you done confessed it with your mouth, and you've spoken it from your heart. Listen, I just want you to know. The male angels from Africa look good too. Ask Idris Alba. Is that his name? Ask Idris. Somebody said, I can't believe it. I can't believe spiritual thought leader ain't spiritual today. I'm real spiritual right now. That's why we getting ready to have a podcast between the navel and the knee. Because listen, I'm telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. At the end of the day, the saints are caught up with. I'm with you, Michelle, on the serious holy oil. Get that holy oil. Spread the super soaker holy oil. Spread it down. Spread it down. Spray us all, Jesus. Spray us all. Oh, I got a 5-piece. Thank you for the combo, Monica. See, when you have a little fun, you get a combo. Oh, that's why she's in such good spirits. You absolutely right. Y'all better find the super soaker. Find the super. I need to get on the Rebels bus so that we can take this show right on the road and finish this thing up, because y'all cutting up this morning. Listen, that's why I said the rebelinc.com. She's got a shirt called Righteous and Ratchet. Y'all get that Righteous and Ratchet shirt, because that's what this podcast is turned into today. We are righteous and ratchet with Spiritual Thought Leader. But back to my brother. I'm with you, not on the bus. I'm back to my brother. And I feel like Michelle said, I think he does not want to be. And Royal Confessions, my question is always, is it righteous and ratchet, or is it ratchet and righteous? In which order? I feel like this brother said, I don't want to be pigeonholed. I want to expand and be all that I can be. And like Miss Cecily Tyson, you getting that shirt? Please get that. Please get that shirt. So at the end of the day, I want us to recognize that we are telling people, follow some of what you see happening. This brother is hot as hotcakes, and I'm not talking about from the sexual perspective. I'm talking about career-wise. This brother is hot, but he has positioned himself so that he's not going to pigeonhole himself in. Listen, the word for today, if I could, in this segment, is options. Options. Y'all cutting up over there in that chat. Options. Always make sure that you leave yourself options. If you talk to the original Superman, what made him so upset and so angry in life that he killed himself? He pigeonholed himself, or he got pigeonholed. I'm not gonna say he pigeonholed, but the industry pigeonholed him in the role of Superman, and he couldn't do anything else. They closed out his options. When you get done with it, you can see it time and time again. Individuals in the industry. Thank you for the bless up. The bless up on that chat. I'm with you, that thing. At the end of the day, when you get down to whatever you're doing in life, leave yourself open so that you can get some options. Get some options. Because once you close yourself off to a thing, and it may seem like, oh, but really, I don't think that was a good idea. Bridgerton is hot right now. Bridgerton is all the rave. Folks are going in on Bridgerton, and a lot of it because I'ma just call a spade a spade. That brother made that show worthwhile. That brother made that show worth watching, and not just from his attractiveness and his good looks, but what he brought in the energy to the table, and how he made the Duke of Hastings believable, and all of those different elements and aspects. He did an excellent job acting. At the end of the day, he played that role. He played that role to a T. But he said, that's not my only role, and I'm not going to be pigeonholed in. I got options. And going back again to Miss Cecily Tyson and her idea, you're not going to pigeonhole me into a particular role. And I have options, and I make the choices, and I make the decision. And no matter how much money you dangle in front of me, because I want to say it was some astronomical, Teresa, you may have seen the figure. I want to say it was like 200,000 an episode or more. I can't remember, that they were offering him if he would at least come, and it may have been more than that. I can't remember the exact figure. But he was like, no, you can dangle the carrot in front of me. You can put the money out there and try to entice me all you want to. I'm done. They asked him to come back as a guest appearing role because they recognize he is a lot of the lifeblood of what was driving that show in its popularity, where people wanted to see it. They're going to have to really come up with somebody. They're going to have to really come up with a character and an actor that can fill that void, because he's leaving a tremendous void in that show. And I love that he's not bowing down to the dollar bill and saying, this is my principle, this is my standard, this is what I want to do, and I'm not going to get sucked in to this one role. And I think that speaks volumes to me, because many times money, and once they start dangling that money and your 15 minutes of fame, and this is what I think sometimes we have to look at in the difference between that 15 minutes of fame and an entire lifetime career. Cicely Tyson didn't have 15 minutes of fame. She had a lifetime career. But Cicely Tyson didn't take everything that was dangled in front of her. As a matter of fact, some roles that people were like, she should have taken it, she was like, no, that's not my role. That's not mine. I don't want that. And as a result, people that maybe got the role that everybody was like, oh, that's the role you should have taken. That was just Cicely. You should have taken that. You should have took that ball and ran with it. She said no. But look at this. Cicely Tyson was relevant in acting all the way up to the time she closed her eyes. I mean, literally, days before the woman passed away, she's out here doing phenomenal things, and still that name will go down in our memories, in our hearts forever, because it wasn't about biting on, I got this money right here and I got this 15 minutes of fame. She said, no, I want and I choose for the long haul. I thought that was powerful, and I really, while some people are like, why are we sitting here having this big, long conversation? Good morning, my sister Cassandra. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, have options, Cassandra. Have options. I like the idea, and that's why I really kind of wanted to talk about it, because so many times I see, particularly people of color, we feel desperate. We feel like, oh, I got to take this because something else may not come along. I got to take this now, and da-da-da-da-da. But that may be the very thing that pigeonholes you in and does not allow you to reach your fullest destiny. You got to assess that thing. You have to determine, you have to really do a lot of deciding, who am I? What is it that I want to be? And how do I want to have it? It may not come quick and fast and furious like everybody else, but quick and fast and furious, how fast does that burn out? Is that 15 minutes of fame, or are we talking about longevity and a lifetime of career? And I'm just using this as an example, and I want you to take it in a way of looking at it as a concept and an idea. Don't immediately jump at the first thing that comes your way. Some of you need to look at that way. I don't care whether it's relationships. Don't jump at the first thing that comes your way. Baby, give yourself options. And at the end of the day, decide what really is a fit for you. Does this fit? And what this brother, Eye Candy, I'm gonna keep calling him Eye Candy, and I'm not trying to, maybe I shouldn't, because I don't want to reduce him down to some sort of a sex object, because I'm definitely not going in reverse sexism. But this baby, and I just don't remember his name. Somebody put his name in there for me. This baby really is saying, I'm not going to pigeonhole myself in, because there's so much more out there. And it's what I want. It's about what I want, not what you want me to want, not what you want me to have. I don't care how much money you dangle in front of me. It's not about what you want me to have. I have a plan for my life. And I still want to go back to, I have to believe that Krypton is potentially kicking themselves for not having picked him up, because this brother has become a sensation. And I think that it's wonderful. I think it's absolutely wonderful. So what's my takeaway? I don't care who turns you down. I don't care who says no. If that's not your space and your place, don't take it. If it's really not for you and it's not your time, it's not in your season, don't feel desperate. Desperation makes too many of us settle for things that really, is it the good thing or is it the God thing? And that's the thing. All my life, I've tried to look and say, is this the good thing, the GOOD, or is this the God thing, the GOD? And I want my best to always select the God thing and not the good thing, because the two can be adversaries to one another. They can be adversarial. So I encourage you. Number one, when doors shut, don't get into a thank you. It's just a fact. Don't get into a mindset of desperation. Well, it'll never come. It'll never happen. It'll never. Just realize that sometimes when you align yourself with something and when you attach yourself to some things, you shut the doors to other things that are really not available to you because you've attached your, thank you. I'm gonna say Jean Page, Regé Jean Page. Thank you for that name, Teresa, because I want to call him right. I want to call him by his name and not make him a sex symbol and an object and objectify him. So I look at the end of the day, this is my takeaway with Brother Page. When they say no, don't trip. Keep moving, keep pressing, keep pushing. And then when you get your opportunity, baby, work your jelly. Do you hear me? Work your jelly. That brother got that role. That brother took a role that, again, as they said in the book, it was a very minor role. Baby, he made that minor role into a major role. And even if they didn't intend for it to be a major role, he worked that role so hard they had to open it up. Your gift will make room for you. I said this on a post that I reposted a post I said several years ago. I don't remember how long ago it was, but it was an old post. And I said, listen, be fruitful and multiply. Multiply is different than addition. So 10 plus 10 is nowhere near 10 times 10 when you multiply. 10 plus 10 is nowhere near 10 times 10 when you multiply it. So when you multiply your gift and when you multiply and you're fruitful in your gift, it has to make room for you. Because once you put 100, listen, if you had space for the 10, when you put the 100 in the space for the 10, it's going to bust out the seams of the space for the 10 because it's 100. Understand what I'm saying? Your gift has to make room for you when you multiply, when you are fruitful and you multiply. Do not put yourself in a place and a space where you cannot multiply your gift and who you are. You are the gift. Do you understand that? You are the gift. Do not put yourself in a space where you cannot multiply, not just add. I need you to be able to multiply. So this brother, he said, oh yeah, y'all gave me 10 plus 10 space, but I'm going to multiply, not just add. So when he blew up, thank you for following Tamir. So when he blew up, he had to expand. They had to expand that role. They had to expand his presence. And then they had to come back and say, listen, we'll pay you buku money per episode. Please come back. Please come back. He said no. Then they said, okay, don't come back. Just do a recurring star role. Please come back. He said no, because at the end of the day, I want to welcome you to the show. Thank you for coming. At the end of the day, he's like, listen, I have to be fruitful and I have to multiply. And so listen, Tyler Perry didn't allow opinions to stop him, and we're proud of that. Brother Page is doing the same by keeping his options open. And that's exactly what I'm talking about this morning, Cassandra, right now in this phase. I'm saying keep your options open. Don't pigeonhole yourself in. I don't care what it is. Do not pigeonhole yourself in. Options, and they are yours. They're yours if you don't misalign yourself to something that's not going to get you to your optimum end. Hear me when I say that. So now he's basically saying, this is what I'm going to do. And so I feel like in his youthfulness, he may be one of those brothers that we're going to see a career very similar to Cecily Tyson, where she chose, and we saw years where we didn't see Cecily. Where's Cecily at? Cecily gone, y'all. Cecily wasn't gone. Cecily was doing other things and waiting for the next opportunity to come out and be seen and be fruitful and multiply. Options. Because listen, when you do that, you allow yourself, and I'm gonna say this, Cassandra, Tyler Perry came up in my conversation on yesterday, and I've said this about this brother time and time again. The thing that I love about Tyler Perry, the thing I like about Tyler Perry is this. I feel like Tyler Perry gets blessed so much. Not so much, now I'm gonna tell you, now don't y'all get mad, because this is Yes You All Cute, one-on-one, just me and you. This is my show. I get to say this is my opinion. I'm not a Tyler Perry fanatic as far as his shows and his plays, because you've seen one, you've seen them all. For me, now everybody doesn't have to agree with me, but for me, just for me. But I feel like Tyler has really come about to the place and position and status and station in life that he is, because that brother went from nothing, and he's a giver. That's one thing that I've seen about him. That brother is a giver. So I feel like, and hear me when I say this, this is a season when I talk about the age of God. It's not about people being greedy and trying to hoard everything up for themselves. While at the same time, I applaud him for all the wealth that he has gained and amassed for himself. But he's not greedy with it. He takes what God has given him and he spreads it around. I feel like those are the people that we're about to start seeing in this age and time, in the age of God. People that have a heart after God, where yes, God may bless me with abundance, but that abundance is also a means by which I can bless other people. Where I can see somebody in an endeavor and say, oh, you starting up this, let me see that. Oh, you doing that, let me see that. Oh, you doing this or the other, let me see that. That is what we have seen from Tyler, and I think that's what's going to keep him in the blessing that he's currently walking in. That blessing is huge, but that blessing has come because that brother has a heart to give. And so I applaud people like that who really understand this. And why do I think he can really understand it? Because he came from nothing. When you hear that man talk about when he was sleeping in his car and trying to find this and trying to find that and broke, busted, and disgusted, but he kept on pushing. That's what I'm talking about. And then keep all your options open. I see you, Michelle, when you said that book is about the Bridgerton, just guest spots for the Duke. But honey, the Duke of Hastings took it over. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. When you are fruitful and you multiply and your gift is making room for you, you can just be a guest in spots, but the next thing you know, you major in the show. That's what I want you to take away. That's what I want you to comprehend. Life can be like that if you just will make it such. So that's what I have to say, and I'm going to close out while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. And we're going to move over real quick and talk a little bit about our word of the day. But I want you to listen to the concept. What came out of this? Listen. While there's the boom that they're projecting is going to go till 2023, get your business fixed, get your house in order, get your money right. Do what you need to do. Take care of business. Ride the wave of the boom, whatever way you can, and build and get yourself together, particularly financially, and do that thing. Do your thing. Secondly, leave yourself some good options, all right? Make sure you have options available to you, whether it's your employment, make sure you got options, whether it's your relationship. Come on, I want y'all to hear, make sure that you are keeping it open where it's constantly growing and developing and going to the next level. Don't get stuck, stagnant, and stupid. Keep it going, babies. Keep it going. And even when the door shuts in your face like Krypton, even when Bridgerton finally opens up for you and gives you what appears to be something huge, say no if it ain't for you at that particular time and season, because you have options. Now, I want to go to the word of the day, and we're going to close it down. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have really tickled me on today. I've had just a rib tickling hee and kiki time. Monica knows, she just brought it on up in the house. I'm still tickled, girl. I'm still tickled down in my shondo. Yes, in my shondo, I'm still tickled. Now, I want to talk just a little bit about, and I'm not going to take a long time on this today, but we started on yesterday, or we actually started on Tuesday, actually, talking about collaboration. I'm going to say it once more and again. There is that reality that as we come into a space and time and season where we're talking about collaborations, and this is the perfect time for it, because this is the age of God, the season where we're seeing things come together, things that have never been before, we're seeing them now because we're coming into a different space and it's a different age. Yesterday, we talked about the 7 norms of collaboration. I'm just going to touch on them just as a recap on today. I'm not going to talk about them again. If you want to get more understanding on the conversation, go back and look at yesterday's podcast. Yesterday morning, I broke it down, and that's what we talked about. But number 1, the 7 norms of collaboration. Promoting a spirit of inquiry. You want to get people curious and wondering what it is that you're about and what the collab is about, so that they want you to tell them more about what's going on. Then number 2 is to pause. Stop. Give yourself time, and the people that you want to collaborate, give the collaborators time to pause and think about what it is that you've presented to them in the inquiry. And give them a minute to just think first. Don't just jump up and act and start moving. Stop and think first. Then you deal with the paraphrasing, number 3. So that you mirror back or paraphrase what you believe you heard. What I think you're saying is, what I believe you want to do is, and mirror it back, paraphrase it to make sure, not using their words, but you use your words based on your level of understanding to make sure all hearts and minds are clear. Then probe for specificity. What are the specifics that we're getting ready to deal with? Because don't jump on a bandwagon when everybody's still out there in la 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 land, but nobody can give you any specifics. A concept, idea, vision is marvelous, but by the time we really want to start bringing in other collaborators, somebody needs to have some specifics that we can really identify, so that people can, if you want them to be a part of the collaboration, they got to know specifics about what it is that you're trying to set forth. So make sure you get some specificity in there. Then pay attention, put your ideas on the table. And this is where, again, the diversity is so powerful. That's why they say there's so much more power in collaboration, in coming into ingenious and new ideas. Because when you bring somebody else to the table that doesn't necessarily think the same way you think, out of that, you start, as a songwriter, many times I've sat down and I've heard a song and I just pen that song, put it out there. But then when I get together with the musicians or other singers and they start saying, "Ooh, you know what I heard? Da 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 da." And so you begin, out of that ingenuity and diversity, you begin to create something brand new. And that's where we can look at, as we're coming into a new age. We're not talking about same candy bar, different rapper. We're talking about a new candy bar. We're talking about coming into another place. Thank you so much for following. We're talking about coming into a whole nother place. That's what I want, and that's what I believe the universe and God is bringing us into this time of saying, listen, we're not trying to have the same candy bar, different rapper. When we get finished with the George Floyd trials, we're not trying to have same candy bar, different rapper. We're not trying to have a repeat and repeat. We need something different, which means that as we come into our collaborative efforts, I need folks that are putting brand new ideas on the table so we can make something brand new. Then pay attention to yourself and others. How's my energy coming across? What am I saying? How am I saying it? Those are things that we need to do. Those are things that we need to pay attention to. Those are things that I want you to say to yourself. How was even myself, some stuff you got to walk it back. Even in talking about Brother Page, have I just objectified him? Have I just made him a sex object? Or if I have, or if that energy is even perceived, even though that's not where my heart was, let me back that thing up. Let me back that up, because listen, if it was a sister and you were objectifying her, making her a sex object, and hey, I'd be screaming bloody murder, I'd be screaming foul. Okay, so if I'm doing that, and if that's coming out of my mouth towards this brother, back that thing up. I gotta make it right. Think and pay attention to yourself first. Listen to the words. What kind of energy is it putting out? Is it something that, hey, out of my own place and my own experience, am I talking from that place versus trying to get it to some place where everybody can embrace and be a part of? I got to look at all of those different things and begin to say, I got to pay attention to myself, and I got to pay attention to the other collaborators, those others that are collaborating with me. I cannot just run away like a runaway freight train. We've all got to listen to each other. And then that 7th rule is that we all have to presume that we're coming from positive intentions, because even in you all listening to me this morning, did I talk about eye candy? And even though I'm joking and I'm playing and da-da-da-da-da, at the same time, some may have been offended, and I apologize for those, if anybody was offended, particularly other brothers, because a lot of times brothers say sisters do the same thing and they don't identify their shortcomings. So if anybody out there was offended, let me first and foremost apologize. But then secondly, how the podcast is able to continue is that you have to believe that I'm coming from a place of positive intention. You have to believe that I didn't intend to be hurtful. I didn't intend to be sexist. I didn't intend to objectify. I didn't intend. And not just a matter of saying, let me off the hook. I got to I got to be accountable and fix my ways. Once I become cognizant and aware of my conversation and my behavior, I have to change it. But at the same time, the only way we can continue to work together is that we all have to presume that we all are coming from positive intentions, so that everybody doesn't walk away offended, mad, upset, and all of this kind of stuff. I can't do it because she said eye candy. I won't ever watch her again. She said eye candy. So we have to have that number 7, where we presume that each of us at the table, we all have positive intention. So today I wanted to talk about, the word of the day is, we come to a place of looking at collaborative trust. Collaborative trust. So as we talk about the different categories and spectrum of relationship, when we come together, we can look at, they talk about the basic 4. Adversarial. I got an enemy. And I'm trying to get us to a point where we don't, even as we said on the other day, I want us to get to a point, instead of seeing everybody as an adversary. And we talked about this when we talked about Taco Bell and KFC in their collaborative. I hope that we can thank you for the biddies. I hope that we can get to the point where we don't necessarily always see the opposite as an adversary. And I'll use this even better so, because that's really a situation of saying, I don't see you as a competitor and we're going to tear each other down. But I looked at and remind myself of a conversation where during the election season, I posted something and a beautiful evangelical brother came spouting off what he said and called me an enemy. And I said to him, I don't see you as he said, I'm going to pray for my enemy. I'm not going to talk about you or whatever. And I said, well, first and foremost, let's be clear on this. I'm not an adversary. I'm not an enemy. Just because I have a different viewpoint and a different idea does not make me an enemy. And so you're talking about you're going to pray for me, when first and foremost, I'm talking about political stuff. And my politics is really from the standpoint of human and civil rights. I'm not even trying to advocate for one party over the other. I am pushing a political agenda when it comes to human rights and civil rights, because that's something that's very important to me. And when I see a party that's standing against that, I'm talking against the breach of civil and human rights. And if that party is the one that's pushing that, then I'm talking against that party. But it's really not the party, it's the ideology. So then when you come at me saying you're going to pray for me as your enemy, I'm not your adversary. So I hope that we can first and foremost start to break down this adversarial concept. Everybody is not your enemy. The next type of relationship is a competitive relationship. And it's a beautiful thing where you can have friendly competitive relationship, where I think Muhammad Ali may have been a good example of that, because there were some people, I don't think, as he talked about, I'm the greatest, and he would have the ingenious idea of making it look like we almost pretty near hate each other. And then you go behind the scenes and those two individuals would be messing around, joking and laughing, having a good time together. He understood the marketing value of competitive bantering. So you got that competitive, then you got the cooperative, and then you got the collaborative. So I want to hurry on to the collaborative, and I just want to deal with some different ideas and concepts here. The question of collaborative trust, and particularly when I start talking about collaboratives amongst people of color, this is an area and an issue that I think becomes a problem, because and it's not just us, but I'm talking to Black folks on today. How many times do we turn around and we don't trust one another? So when you start talking about a collaborative, it becomes very difficult, because you can only collaborate when trust exists. So we start asking ourselves some questions, and I'm just going to kind of touch on some things today, because I'm running out of time here. I understand that, but I still want to get this idea, because we've got to build our trust. We may pick it up tomorrow and do some more continued conversation on this topic, but collabs are the move of this time. Ask yourself, who can I trust, and how do I know it? Because I think therein, knowing who you can trust and how to know you can trust. Relationships are key. Relationships are critical. And I will say this, in the collab, in that process, I think we hype train. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Y'all done set it off. Thank you for the hype train and thank you for the biddies. I appreciate you guys. I want you to look at who can you trust and how can you know it. I think you've got to first and foremost begin to look at relationships, y'all. You cannot really have a pure, powerful collaborative if there's no relationship there. If it's not a relational situation, and it must remain relational. Once you see it starting to break down in relationship, hear me when I say this, don't keep trying to do business as usual and push and press on. When you see the relationship starting to break down, pump brakes and address the relationship and pause the business. Hear what I'm saying? Pump brakes. Go back and address the relationship and pause the business, because that relationship is what's going to allow the trust to remain and continue. Because once you lose trust in your collaborative partners, you're falling apart. So, and your ability to make good, healthy decision becomes skewed. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much for the hype train is going on, y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Will your colleagues have your back? That's a huge question, because listen, as we get out here in our collaborative effort, if y'all gonna leave somebody standing out there, almost like the military, no man left behind. You have to have that idea and that concept. I got your back. And no matter what the situation, and again, we're not talking about something criminal where somebody's out doing something illegal. Oh man, y'all got this hype train going. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Level 1 hype train is rolling. If you are in that process where nobody has your back, baby, I'm here to tell you that is not a good feeling. When you look up and ain't nobody standing there but you talk about flow up, toe up. That is going to be where you are in your emotions when everybody has abandoned you. So you got to choose from a perspective of who really has my back. And then we got to deal with elements of this management and the people that are in leadership. I'd really rather say leadership, because yes, there does have to, in a collaborative, you have to have some level of management. It's not just a co-op everybody, but we're collaborative. There's going to be some level of leadership in that collab. So when I look at that collaborative leadership, do they give credit where credit is due? Because a lot of times this is a key element of where things start to break down too, where you got worker bees and individuals out there working their hinds off, working their hands to a bone, working their fingers to a bone, but they never get any recognition and credit. Now we understand everybody is okay when nobody cares who gets the credit, but this is the thing about positive leadership. If there are people worthy of credit, give it to them. And don't stand up and take all the shine when you know somebody else did it. And I know some of y'all on here listening to me can attest to the fact it does not feel good when you know that you have given all but your lifeblood to a thing and somebody else stands up and takes all the credit and doesn't even call your name to say thank you. So you got to get into that place when you're looking at a collaborative. Does my leadership understand that we've got to give credit where credit is due, and do it without grudging? Do it without, I gotta pull it out of you, because I'm paying attention to every element that's going on, and I understand every component and every part is just as important. Can I be 100% relied on? And the people that I'm collaborating with, can they be relied on? Some of y'all getting in bed with folk, and I'm saying this from a collaborative perspective. You're doing stuff with people that they've shown you time and time again, they are not reliable. So this is the thing, and I've even more recently in an organization that I have put together as a collaborative. And I'm working with one of the local colleges here and others that are coming together in an ad hoc situation. And as we were meeting, and as I was having a meeting with the membership, the leadership, and we were talking about how we were going to move forward. And I said to them, I said, you know what? I love this individual. It's a person that I know well, but she has struck out 2 for 2. And at strike out for 2 for 2, we're not gonna go that route again. You already got 2 for 2 because time is critical. Stuff's got to get done. You're 2 for 2. You're not reliable. And even though I love you to pieces, in my collaborative, you're going to have to get another position in operational status because you're not reliable. And some of you don't want to acknowledge and admit the people that you're dealing with are not reliable. And listen, you got to just call a spade a spade. You can't make something up and pull something out of thin air. If they are showing themselves to repeatedly not be reliable, do not put them in that slot. As simple as that. And it may sound hard, it may sound ugly, but if you want to be an effective collaborative that's able to move forward and not be stuck, you got to get people that can get the job done. Then, can you keep and manage your promises? Because this is some of where the integrity comes from. When you say you're going to do a thing, do you do it? And this is something that we got to do introspection first and foremost before you try to talk about anybody else. When I put my word out there, do I follow through on it? Or am I that girl? Am I that guy that every time I get an assignment, I come back with an explanation and an excuse as to why I couldn't get it done? So you may have to look at, do they know how to manage their time effectively? Because at the end of the day, if they don't know how to manage their time and know when to say yes and know when to say no and know when too much is too much and I can't get that done, and they keep coming back where they cannot manage their promises and keeping them, then you got to look at, again, I'm not kicking folk off the boat, but I am going to look at where you fit in the grand scheme of things. Then, are people actually competent, or have they been faking it? Now that's huge, y'all, because there are a lot of people, and don't get twisted. Hear me when I say this. Just because they have a degree does not mean they are competent. Just because they don't have a degree doesn't mean they're incompetent. Some folks have been skidding by and sliding for years, and they are dumb as a box of rocks. I'm sorry. They don't have the ability. They don't have the knowledge. They have not tried to expand themselves. They are not innovative. They're not trying to expand. They're happy to be where they are. They've some kind of way, and I tell people all the time, you can graduate and get a degree and not have an A. You can be skimming right on the verge of being put out of school, but still graduate. Do you hear what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I need to be able to identify competency. If you're dealing with people, and I don't have a problem with not having all of everything that I need, but am I willing to grow and expand and learn and figure out and find more? If I'm not, then hey, be truthful to everybody on the team and say, hey, that ain't my cup of tea. That's not my area of expertise, and I don't want to learn it, so I'm not the person for that job. We got to make sure that competence is here and we're not selling out to people that are just faking it. Do your colleagues and your collaborators, do they all really care whether or not this is going to be successful? Because listen, if everybody doesn't have a buy-in, I don't care if we get 100 people deep. If 100 people deep only has 10 people that want it to be successful and the other 90 don't care, you need to trim the fat, because those 90 that don't care are just going to be drag and dead weight on your effort. So make sure you got to take a look. Are they invested in this being successful? Are you happy or jealous? Are you dealing with envy? You got all these different energies going on in your organization. You got to be truthful and real about that. We're talking about a collaborative. I cannot collaborate well with people that are envious and jealous. And listen, jealousy sometimes can come at you in all kind of ways. It seems like the folks that want to get up close and personal and seem like they want to smile in your face and appear to be, oh, I'm in your corner. Sometimes those are the ones that are most jealous. So you got to pay attention. Everything that glitters ain't gold. And you have to really, really make assessments. Pay attention. Again, I'm not talking about, trying to be whoop, whoop, spooky and scary and I don't trust you. We're talking about how to build trust. I build trust by coming to terms with, do we really need to address, do we need to have a come to Jesus moment and have a conversation? Because if I see things that look like you might be jealous, if I see things that look like it may be covert envy, if I see things that look suspicious, we gonna have a conversation. And after we have this conversation, that conversation is going to help me to know, because what did I say? The key here is that we got to be relational in a collaborative. We've got to make sure that the relationship is strong and healthy, because trust is key. Next thing, does everybody keep their confidences? Is everybody going to be a person that none understands confidentiality is crucial? If you got folks out here running off at the mouth, and let me tell you a secret that I have and I utilize myself. And whether people realize it or not, I don't say it a lot, and this may be the only time I say it out in public. When people come to me and say, so-and-so told me not to tell, but those people, I will tuck that energy in my shondo, because at the end of the day, I know not to tell that person anything. When they constantly come in, and then it's like, why are you telling me that? That's none of my business. And those individuals that have shown that they do not flow in confidentiality, I'm done with that. I'ma still smile, I'ma still whatever, and then sometimes not. If I got to call a spade and get with you right there on the spot, depending on what it is. But I'm gonna tuck that away in my memory, because if you're telling somebody else's confidence, guess what? You'll tell mine too. So you gotta pay attention to people that are trustworthy in the area of confidences. And so even when you think it doesn't matter anymore, if something is shared with you in confidence, don't tell it. How open and honest are we in competition and promoting? Are people out here trying to gain favors from other people? I mean, these are behaviors that when you start talking about in a collaborative, pay attention to this. Sometimes you get, and listen, as a person in ministry, I can tell you, I always watch the folk that start going to individuals one-on-one and start having a personal private. You start looking up, and every time you turn around, there's nothing wrong. Yes, I promote everybody, connecting with everybody. But you have those individuals that go and start nitpicking and start trying to get in everybody's business, and they go off one-on-one trying to have that one. Baby. When you got folks that are trying to gain favor, got folks that are trying to gain notoriety within the group, those are situations to pay attention to in your collaborative. Because listen, when we're building trust, we keep everything above board, everything on the table. Ain't nobody trying to pull nobody to themselves. We're in this thing together because it's a collaborative. Now, this is huge. Do you have people that would admit when they don't know something? Because, beloved, nobody knows everything. And if you find yourself in a group of all know-it-alls, you are in a collaborative that is going to strangle the very life out of you. When people can actually admit, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with saying I don't know. There's absolutely nothing wrong with not knowing. The thing is to not remain ignorant. And what do we need to do to find out? Or who is the person that does know? Where do we need to go to get the knowledge? Where do we need to go to get the information? We are in a Google society. You can look anything up on Google, or you can find a resource and do some networking. That's why you want to have some networking. And hopefully you have a diverse enough group in your collaborative that somebody's bringing something to the table that others don't know. But at the end of the day, everybody has something that they don't know. And how willing are the people in your group willing to admit, hey, I don't know. And that is something when you are dealing with individuals that cannot admit that they don't know. Watch whether or not, be cautious and careful whether or not you want to put that in your collaborative. And then, lastly, do the people in your group have the ability to ask for help without a whole bunch of insecurity? Now, it's okay, I don't know, or I can't do, and I need help. But please, 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 when we are building the collaboratives that we do and are building now, let's try to encourage and foster an environment where people can feel secure, where they can feel like I can say, I don't know how to do that. Can you help me? Without feeling like they're going to get the beat down, without feeling like they're going to get laughed at, without feeling like, oh, you stupid. I hope that as we're building our collaboratives in this hour, that I said this to somebody the other day about something that I'm building with the organization. It has to be a safe place. It has to be a safe place. So let the foundation provide that. We bring a safe place and offer a safe place to you. But then the flip side of that coin, don't y'all come in with your insecurities every time you turn around. And I'm talking about really from a place of, yes, I can't do it, I need help, but you can still do that with confidence. You can still do that from a place of maturity. And when I'm talking about the insecurity of immaturity, the insecurity of immaturity, that we got to deal with 10,000 levels of your immaturity to get you secure. You know, I love you, baby, and we're going to work with you, but you just not, the person for this piece right here. We may need to move you over to this piece right here until you get a little more mature and a little more secure. So some of you are hampered because you're instead of dealing with building and moving your agenda forward, you got to spend all your time dealing with everybody's insecurities. So I want you to pay attention to all these different things, because that's how we can get truth rolling in our collaborative. We've got to begin to be transparent about what's going on within that collaborative and keep it real. So I'm gonna go one more time before I get ready to close it out here, and I hope that this has been helpful to some degree, and this is just a phase. Trust, because we got to have the trust going. Who can I trust and how can I know it? Do my colleagues and my collaborators have my back? Does management and leadership know how to give credit where credit is due? Can the people that I'm choosing and operating with be 100% relied upon? Are they reliable? Do I keep promises? Do they keep promises? Are people competent or are we faking it? Do our people involved in this effort really care about the success of it? Or are you just on here for a free ride? Are you happy, jealous, envious? What's going on in my collaborative? We got to be transparent, and we have to be relational and deal with it. And does everybody keep confidentiality a key? Because you cannot betray confidentiality and think you're going to keep trust. It just will not happen. And how open and honest are we about competition and promotion? Who's trying to gain favors and get one up with the people and sell themselves and work the room? Listen, ain't time for that. And then do people admit, I don't know? Can you hear I don't know in this group and get it done? Do people have the ability to ask for help without dealing in a whole bunch of insecurity? Now that's where I wanted to start with us on today. I hope that this has been helpful. We're wrapping it up and we're coming down to a place. I want to see collaboratives all over the place, because as it said, the new that we typically see birth forth is birthed more often from within the collaborative structure. And so we're not going back. No. It's not the same soup warmed over. We're not going to keep talking about change and stay stuck in this same thing and try to pretend like change has come. No, it ain't no change. There's no change. There's no change. We can still, even in the civil rights of black and minority brown-skinned people, we can still hold up the same signs in 2021 that we were holding up and marching with in 1950 and 1960. No, change has not come. So we got to look at all these things and say, how are we going to make the change? We got to come to a collaborative. I believe it. We got to come, and the more we bind together, the more we come together, the more numbers that gather together. That's what we talk about Jessamis. Jessamis is about gathering villages. Not just a village, but gathering villages, getting all of the villages and then saying, how can we collaborate together? I believe that as we come into these places where we can have collaborative trust, that's my word for today, because we gotta trust each other, and we've got to start building collaboratives where people come correct. You gotta come correct. Don't come in here shucking and jiving and trying to sham and trying to scam and incompetent, don't know what you're talking about, haven't done your research, haven't done the legwork, but want people to support and undergird and give you money. What am I giving you money for? That's really the challenge. Can I be honest? And we've talked about this, so it's not anything new. We talked about it, and while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, why so many of the Black Lives Matter families that have lost their loved ones are angry with Black Lives Matter because they have come in and harvested this money, and many times over, these families have not received anything in the way of helping to get justice, court, any kind of help, nothing. So you got people that are coming in doing things, skitting and scam. This is not the time for that, y'all. This is not the time for us to say, let's collaborate to see who can get the money and who can come up with the next scam and make off with the bank account. This is not that time. This is not that season. We have got to be seriously doing and actually manifesting what it is that we say we are here to do. So today, my word, collaborative trust. I hope those different ideas, for those of you that have are involved in collaborative effort, I hope you took some notes, take it down, come back, watch this video once more, and again, take some notes as you begin to tie into different collaborative efforts and things, entities that are out there. I want you to pay attention to those items. Thank you so much. I appreciate that thing. I appreciate you. I want you all to pay attention because it's time for a collaborative effort so that we can see the change that must come. And with that, I'm going to shut it down. Again, my words for today, I'm talking about collaborative trust. Can't have a collaborative without the trust. You just got some good news. Oh, come on. I love it. Awesome. So at the end of the day, y'all, share it. This is a time change is happening. It's not going to happen. Change is happening. I want you all to know it. I want you to thrive and revel in it, relish it. Come on here, go with it, because I want you to roll with it. Yes, that thing, we're going to hear some more about your good news. I'm so glad. Congratulations on the good news. Oh, man, I love it. Come on. Oh, come on. Congratulations. Y'all, come on. Hold on a second. I gotta put this on hold just for a second. Cause listen, I get the money. Congratulations. Come on. Y'all give it up for that thing. Yo, Productions, starting on Monday. Congratulations. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself today, Michelle. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself today, even though y'all didn't get Grandpa Holmes' chair. Here we go. I feel for my brother. And I feel for my sister. I love y'all. I really, really do. This has been a great day. I've enjoyed all my conversation. This is your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and you have joined me today for Yes You All Cubed one-on-one, just me and you. And you know what? I want you to follow me out there on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, Discord, and more, because I got something to say and we're going somewhere. I appreciate you. Now, as Rhonda Royal, my dear friend, often says, if you don't deal with it, baby, it will deal with you. And that's not the way we roll. We handle our business over here because we are lions, and you're going to hear us roar. Now, as I like to say, don't just talk about change. I want you to be the change. And at the end of the day, I always like to advocate, it's us, you, me, we, all, because we in this thing together. Again, we want to give blessings and Thanksgiving for That Thing Productions and that new job that's starting on Monday. May you just knock that ball out the ballpark, and blessings upon blessings be on you and yours as you go forth in your new endeavor. Congratulations. That being said, y'all know how we close it out. 223, it was good to have you, baby. It was good to have you. 23 is in the house. And everybody else that joined me on today, thank you for coming in for Yes You O Cube one-on-one, just me and you. And with that, I bid you adieu with my famous last words. Peace for your journey.